I would do some archbishop. Been a school them from when me in a car shot. Liverpool couldn't test the way me raw sit up quick draw. Him drop and can't get up, him not fast enough for my problem that you never solve. Send for the Dan race for a firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war, better with your black. None of them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Bad ones in power, do some archbishop. Them no bad. School them from me in a darkish. Them no bad. Fool couldn't do with me raw sit up the drop. If I can't beat up, no fast enough for my Bible that you never saw. Send for the brand race, be a firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war, better with your phone. None of them boy, they no bad. Left a mark, young gog on a regular. We say them hardly ready. Them a new type of artillery. We a bus and a Tom and Jerry. Out the blue I hit you with an airstrike. They not bad like my air Nikes. It's a rare sight, yeah. Steady aim with precision. Make the vision we a clear sight. Better go get your affairs right. Them boy, they no bad. None of them boy, they no bad. Road back, live with my bar. If you mark, them no bad. Them no regular. We see them hard, them no bad. Me a new type of artillery. We a bust, I'm a Tom and Jerry. Out the blue, you better airstrike. They no bad. Me air nice, bad, clear sight. Steady aim, they no bad. And it's the vision, we got clear sight. Better get your fit, them boy, they no bad.
Welcome back to the Indy Boys Racing Podcast. We are back today celebrating an incredible weekend we just had at COTA. A little chaotic, a little
very
detrimental.
Yeah, you could say that.
But it had a good ending, and the guy that deserved to win won the race. Tyler Reddick.
Let's go, baby.
That is true.
Let's go.
Out here with his full Tyler Reddick shirt. I'm wearing my TR shirt today.
This shirt came in just in time.
Yeah. But Tyler Reddick wins his first race with 2311 Racing. And it is official. Toyota's on the win board, guys. Toyota has made it into the win column. However, not the Toyota team you might have thought. But we're going to talk all about it. Firstly, I have to introduce myself and my incredible co-hosts. My name is Tristan Grider. Joined with, as always, my incredible co-host, Daniel Cheney and Justin Cox. How are we doing today, boys?
Man, I'm okay. Wearing the DK shirt, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm kind of tired today, but we're gonna keep the energy going. You know what I'm saying? As much as I can. But it is what it is. So yeah, I thought COTA was good up until the end. So
yeah. When the
Yeah.
last two laps take almost an hour, it's like
it's kind of
like,
unacceptable in my opinion.
I was watching the race with my good friend Ben, and we're watching the race. It's him and his wife and me and my girlfriend. We're all watching the race, and it kind of got to the point where we're just like, just get to the white. Just get to the white.
They finally let it go because there was people that crashed on that last restart, and they just let everybody race.
They were just like, I thought they were going to throw the caution right after they got to the white.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this
because
is
that
crazy.
was the wreck that ended Suarez's day.
Yeah.
And Raikkonen's day. But
Yeah, I was like, this
Crazy
is
weekend.
crazy. Daniel,
Yeah.
what's up with you, buddy?
I had kind of a long weekend, but that's not really anything you can do about that when that happens. But my boy got his win.
Yes,
So the long weekend was worth it because I got to see my boy eventually get into victory lane. Was panicked for like an hour because they kept yellow flagging it every time.
They tried
he was pulling
everything
away.
they could to not get
Reddick
to try to get.
I don't
Reddick
know
win that
what
race.
he did.
I also
to
love
piss
how
off
they
the
were
racing
like,
gods, but
"Yo,
he tried it.
debris on the track with like 10 to go." There was no debris. What are we talking about? There was none.
They could have waited They
there
could have
was
waited
going
3
to
turns for him to cross the finish line, and then be like, "Oh, we don't want him to hit it."
Yeah.
You damn know if that was F1, they would have had a guy run out there and grab it and then keep
And
racing.
run back, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but yeah, Tyler Reddick wins. And also, we had 2 other weekend winners this weekend: Zane Smith and AJ Allmendinger. Zane Smith won the Truck Series race for the 2nd week in a row. It's kind of getting a little weird because Zane Smith, the 2 races that he's won so far this season, are the same 2 races he won last year at this time. And AJ Allmendinger wins at COTA for the 3rd straight year in the Xfinity Series. He's really good at this track, and I bet you he's going to run it again next year.
In other news, water wet.
In other news,
Waterway.
yeah, for real. But we did have a little bit of controversy this weekend. We're going to get into that and more. We're going to talk all about this motorsport media news for the week. And we're going to discuss next week's doubleheader for IndyCar and the Truck Series at Texas. We're going to talk Richmond for the Xfinity and Cup Series. And we are going to talk all about the Australian GP, Daniel Ricciardo weekend, as some like to call. Without Daniel Ricciardo, he better be in FP1.
Oscar Piastri.
Oh, Oscar Piastri weekend. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not used to it
weekend
yet.
is now. Yeah.
Got it. Let's go ahead and transition into some motorsport media with some NASCAR.
NASCAR. Okay. I was getting ready to ask that. All right.
All right. So, a lot of NASCAR news. There is some surprising stuff and some not so surprising stuff this week. We have everything from new teams to this. The biggest announcement I think I've seen in a while. Kevin Harvick Incorporated is back. So earlier in the season, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jeff Burton, Kevin Harvick, they all came together to buy the Cars Tour. And this year, Kevin Harvick is going to be running in the Cars Tour at North Wilkesboro, which is going to be the Wednesday before the Cup race, the All-Star race, in a KHI car, number 62. I'm so excited. Daniel doesn't remember KHI. He wasn't a fan back then.
I mean, that's why I put that logo on there, because that's the throwback logo.
Yes. And KHI is back. The number 33, you remember it well. The number 2, before RCR bought all of it from Kevin Harvick, all the rights. But man, it's exciting. It's really exciting to see Kevin Harvick Incorporated back. Oh, yeah. And hopefully this means Truck Series soon. Maybe this means Cup Series soon. I doubt Cup Series, but it'd be really cool. So that's the biggest NASCAR news. That's NASCAR news. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Truck Series news to start off. Ryan Vargas is going to be with On Point Motorsports this weekend at Texas. This was not a planned start, so we knew that he was going to be racing for them, but we didn't know how it was going to happen and where. So exciting for them. So super cool. There was also an announcement for a Truck Series team, and that announcement came out yesterday. I don't remember what it was, but I put it on my Twitter account, new Truck Series team, ? And the tweet's already gone. So I don't know if it was fake or anything, but I know it was the 76 team. Here, let me click on it, trying to see. It was Team Excel Motorsports. I don't know, but it was the number 76 Truck Series venture, and that Twitter account is already gone. So yeah. I don't know.
It was probably
yeah. All right, next, Matt Mills is going to run the 20 truck with Young's Motorsports this weekend. Matt Mills, you remember him from his 5 years driving for BJ McLeod Motorsports and that number 5 truck, that number 5 car. And he kind of got pushed out of that seat. They kind of debunked the 5 car. Because Mills didn't have as much sponsorship, and they brought in other drivers like Stephen Parsons, Anthony Alfredo, people that have funding. But Matt Mills is going to be back. Mills actually ran in the Cup Series. I don't know if Daniel remembers, but Mills had a couple starts for Live Fast Motorsports in the Cup Series.
Really?
Yeah, he drove
I didn't even know that.
yeah, he drove, or actually not Live Fast. It was actually a BJ McLeod Motorsports entry. It was the number 55.
Yeah,
Back in the day.
I didn't even know that, to be honest.
I think that was back in 2020 or 2021, but he did do that. So congrats. Whoa, I just hit the heck out of my mic. But Matt Mills is going to be back in the truck series, so that's cool. Next thing, Josh Rayum is going to be running the 22 with AM Racing. Now this is weird because Josh Rayum has 2 trucks that race all the time in the truck series. So congrats to Josh Rayum. Speaking of someone that used to run for Rayum Brothers Racing, Christopher Hacker. He's going to be making his debut with RSS, that's Ryan Sieg, in the 38th this weekend at Richmond. Xfinity Series debut for an Indiana native. Dude, like, where did this come from? So, in it seems that this deal mostly came together because of the Sieg family and the Graff family. So, Joe Graff Jr., we know that he runs most of his races in this RSS Ford. But this weekend he's on the entry list as being with Joe Gibbs Racing. So we know there's kind of like a part-time venture there with Joe Gibbs there. So I think that's why Christopher Hacker is going to be in this seat. I'm excited. Now, has he had the best truck series results? Not quite. He does have a couple top 15 finishes. But I'm just excited. Me and Daniel, we love Chris Hacker.
He's a G. He's a G.
Yeah. He's a dog. Like he is
a dog.
that man. He was one of actually the first drivers that like interacted with us. So excited for you, Chris. Go get that win out there. Because like the RSS isn't like bad equipment. Like that's good equipment. So
they're pretty like consistently solid.
I'd say B tier equipment for sure.
Yeah,
so
I'd agree.
Yeah.
Hopefully get out there, get that win.
Yeah.
All right, next. This one is a little bit of like kind of disappointing news. So Big Machine Racing owner Scott Borchetta, he has been hospitalized after a wreck in the Trans Am series at Road America. Now, I don't know if you saw this Twitter like underneath the tweets of this.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say much about it, but listen, I get that Big Machine Racing or that Big Machine, like their like music brand, they signed Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Big
Like
machine, right?
the guy is on his like hospitalized, and like they're like it's because like I don't even want to.
We're not even gonna mention
I'm
some
not
of
even-
the jokes.
I'm not
Yeah,
even-
they were
just-
rough.
Look on the tweet. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
but
they were rude.
prayers out to Big Machine Racing and to the Borchetta family, and I hope everything is and will come out okay for them. All right, next, we have a new Xfinity Series team making their debut this weekend. FRS Racing is going to debut this weekend at Richmond with Kyle Weatherman. That is really exciting news. Now, this is actually the remains, guys, of Brandon Built Motorsports. So a team that has mostly been forgotten, but a team that made the Xfinity Series playoffs 2 years ago. Brandon Built Motorsports. They are, 3 years ago now. Brandon Built Motorsports is kind of back, but it's under completely new ownership, and it's FRS Racing now. Kyle Weatherman is going to make a few starts for the team, but as of right now, this is their only planned start. So good luck this weekend for a brand new Xfinity Series team. We always love welcoming new teams here. And Brandon Built Motorsports is kind of back, but not. So again, a team that kind of passed away with all of the controversy that happened over the past.
He said
Could say
passed
that.
away.
You could say
What
that.
a way to turn that.
And finally, in the Xfinity Series news, Blaine Perkins, we reported last week that he had left SS Greenlight. He's found a new home at Our Motorsports, and he's going to run part-time with this team. And this weekend it starts at Richmond. So good luck to Blaine with a brand new team. I know it's difficult to start on a new team halfway through the season, but Our Motorsports is arguably better equipment than SS Greenlight. So found a little bit of a better ride. And what can I say? Sponsor dollars pays for better rides. All right, next, let's go into the 2 Cup Series little reports that we have. Firstly, we're going to talk about the Chicago Street Course weekend. McDonald's is going to be the title sponsor of the NASCAR Chicago Street Race. So you'll see it'll be called the McDonald's Chicago Street Race. I kind of like it. Pretty sick. So
It rings nice.
branding. A lot of McDonald's branding. We will not be there. We'll actually be at in Chicago. We will be at Mid Ohio instead, but you will have some other representatives from Burnout Sports there at Chicago. So we're gonna be at Mid Ohio, but we might have some coverage at Chicago. But really exciting stuff. And finally, guys, we're going to talk about a couple of the drivers that don't normally race in the Cup Series that are going to be this weekend. Chandler Smith is going to attempt to make his first career Cup Series race. He did not qualify at Daytona, but he's on the entry list this weekend to make that NASCAR Cup Series debut with the Colleague number 13. And Anthony Alfredo is going to make his return to the Cup Series after 2 seasons this weekend with Live Fast Motorsports in that number 78. Oh, that was a lot of news. But man, I don't know if you guys have anything else to say about NASCAR. All I have to say, biggest news this week was probably that Chris Hacker news, because that came out of nowhere, or that Kevin Harvick Incorporated news. But
that's probably the coolest one to me.
Yeah,
is the
KHI news. It's so cool. That is so cool.
But anything else I'd love to say is just really about COTA. So, but yeah.
All right.
We're gonna go to IndyCar.
I agree.
Might as well.
I'm down to go to IndyCar.
All right, let's do it. Let's transition over to some IndyCar.
So with IndyCar, we got a little bit of news. We got some good news, and we got some bad news. We're gonna start with some bad news. The IndyCar game.
You guys don't understand how pissed off I am about this.
Yeah. We had plans, bro. We had plans. We were gonna make a series. I was actually gonna get to do something other than just being on this show. We had plans.
And now we have to wait into a video game.
We were deceived because the IndyCar game is being delayed till at least 2024.
This game's never coming out.
It's not coming out.
I mean, I already knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, we all kind of figured.
We saw no branding for it.
Yeah, other than at Indianapolis, that one time where they just had all the simulators set up and it was literally just R Factor 2 in the garages that one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a month or two ago, there was some pictures of the work in progress, models of the game, and it literally just looked like Indy cars and NASCAR Ignition.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which again is better than no game, I guess.
And those Indy cars, if you look at the picture, they're at, I'm pretty sure, Gateway or maybe Milwaukee, which are 2 very similar tracks. So it's just really easy to remodel that.
Yeah,
I guarantee you they haven't even started work on the game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm sure they've done some work, but not a lot.
Personally, I don't want motorsports games anywhere near my Indy car. So I mean,
well, they already stole the licensing from iRacing, so there's that. That's already.
I still don't want motorsports games anywhere near my.
I just don't realistically. I just don't see any other option.
Yeah,
because EA is not going to pick them up.
Bring back EA. Gosh.
2K is not going to make an IndyCar game.
2K is too busy making crappy wrestling games.
They're too busy.
Honestly,
The new ones are good. The new ones are good.
Which one?
It was just 2K20 that sucked.
Yeah,
2K20 sucked so bad they had to take a year off, and then they made good ones again.
Yeah.
They pulled a NASCAR Ignition, but it actually.
Could you imagine if they didn't release NBA 2K next year? They're just sorry guys, we're not going to release 2K. What would we do?
We already experienced that with NBA Live.
That's true. NBA
I don't even play 2K, so I'd be fine.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just disappointing to see that this game that so many people were excited for, we just have to keep waiting, especially with the fact that there was already very little faith that this was going to work out in the first place. So we're feeling let down. We know a lot of fans are feeling let down. If you're feeling let down about this, we understand. If you're optimistic about them having more time into it, I also get that approach.
Don't be.
But it's motorsports games. Have kind of low expectations.
Do not be optimistic that this is going to come out in 2024 because this company may not even be around in 2024. So just don't get your hopes up, please.
Yeah, as somebody who pre-ordered the Legends edition of NASCAR Ignition, don't be excited.
Yeah,
I'm have low expectations.
Have very low.
I'm trying to have the lowest expectations possible, and I am the biggest IndyCar
Nerd.
I was gonna say optimist.
Oh, okay.
But
that works too.
That works. Yeah, that does work. But now that we're going with our bad news, we can go to the good news that IndyCar has. I think it's good news. So IndyCar has announced, I believe they announced yesterday, that NTT Data has re-signed and will renew their sponsorship with IndyCar. It will remain the NTT Data IndyCar series. If you know anything about this, NTT Data has been very involved with IndyCar, helping out with different data stuff of figuring out things at IMS, figuring out like how to work the app better, how to make it the best fan experience. And
I don't know if you've seen the website recently, but the website is incredible, and that is all
Yeah.
NTT Data. Like, good on you.
They're doing a good job with what they're doing. And
They
I
need to
think they're a
work
really
on the
good
mobile
title
app
sponsor.
though. The mobile app kind of sucks. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I'm
It's
gonna be
better than
honest.
what it was.
No, you're not wrong.
I
It's
kinda-
definitely better, but they
I
still
liked
need
the
some work
setup
on
of it last year more than I do their current setup.
Yeah,
But
I do too. But
that's just because last year it was like all together. This
Yeah.
year it's like takes a little longer to get to places, and like I still do think it's like a good setup. It was just it's still throwing me off.
still getting used to it.
But obviously NTT Data is still involved in IndyCar because they used to be a sponsor of Chip Ganassi Racing. Now they're a sponsor for Aaron McLaren Racing. Obviously this is just because they want to stay with Alex Palou when he gets there next year. Spoiler alert, that's happening. That was just further proof. But they're staying with IndyCar, and I think that's a really good move. I'm glad that they're staying. They're staying a relatively recognizable name for a sponsor of the series. Like I feel like they've been with them enough, people recognize it. Personally, I thought the next sponsor was going to be the Hy-Vee IndyCar series,
I
which
did
that's
too.
still possible.
I did
I'm
too.
glad that we all thought that that was what it was gonna be.
But I mean, let's be real. Hy-Vee is just killing it right now.
Yeah, for real.
But NTT Data is doing great too.
I was wearing my Hy-Vee hat
So-
today just because I thought it was but I wanted to pay some respects to NTT because as much as everyone misses Firestone, NTT is cool. I like it. It's like
It's better than the Verizon IndyCar series.
It is
honestly.
much better than
Izod.
Verizon.
Or the Izod.
Izod.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Izod. Man, that's terrible. Forgot all about Izod.
That's
said that's
about all
terrible.
the IndyCar news I've got.
What even was
You're
Izod?
forgetting something though, Daniel.
What
What's
am I
this
forgetting,
weekend?
Jake? This weekend, IndyCar is back, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
did you
worry, I
guys?
was gonna get there
Did
eventually.
you
I
guys
just didn't know
also
if that was
see?
news.
I don't know. This came out today. I don't know if Daniel saw this. Did you guys see the Linus Lundqvist news?
No.
I mean, I know he was gonna test with Ray Hall.
Yes, he's officially testing with Ray Hall.
Oh,
Well, I thought they announced that last week.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't. But
Okay.
did we talk about it last week?
We talked about it last week.
Okay, cool. Well, Linus put it on his Instagram today. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's officially official.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys saw this either, but Tony Donahue tweeted that apparently someone big might not be at Texas this weekend.
Someone
Uh, like
Darn, Rey
driver-
Mysterio's not going back, guys.
right,
WrestleMania is too important.
There it is.
like driver big. I texted him
Yeah.
and he said he was keeping his mouth shut on this one. But I don't know.
Come on,
I
Tony.
don't
What are you doing?
know.
Come on, Tony. What are you doing?
I guess I have some guesses in my head.
Who's your guys' guesses? Who's your guys' guesses?
I don't know if I necessarily want to say it because it's not for a good reason. It's a sad reason.
What is it?
Well, I just remember that Will Power had to miss the
Yeah.
24 hours Daytona because of something with his wife, and I hope it's not that.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna put money on Will Power missing the race because
Yeah,
nobody
I
wants that to be the case.
I also think it's willpower, but what can you do?
I'm gonna guess Scott Dixon.
Ooh.
That's my guess. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just
Yeah.
guessing. Because Tony won't tell us. So.
Come on, Tony. You're supposed to be the media dad.
But yeah, on your screen right now, all the IndyCar race week times are on your screen right now. So
Yeah.
hopefully you
I'm
guys
so
are checking those
excited.
out.
I know it's Texas and we shouldn't be excited about Texas, but last year that race was fire. I don't care.
I'm
That
not
race-
excited as much about Texas. I'm excited that we're finally getting a technical doubleheader with NASCAR this weekend with
That's
IndyCar
true.
and the Truck Series. Even though the Truck Series is the day before, last year we were calling it a triple header weekend. So doubleheader weekend with IndyCar and the Truck Series. So
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's all the IndyCar stuff I got. So I'm gonna pass it over to Jay for the formulas.
The formulas.
My favorite
Ravioli. Show me that formioli.
Give me
My
the
favorite
formula.
formula is the Pythagorean theorem.
There it is.
Personally.
All right. But getting into Formula E, this past weekend we were at the Sao Paulo E Prix. There was like 11 lead changes in this race in 35 laps, so that's actually kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. The race was pretty good. I think Nick Cassidy should have won this race, honestly, but he ended up finishing, I think, second. Mitch Evans ended up winning the race. And yeah, on your screen right now you have all the team standings after the Sao Paulo E Prix. There's the driver standings. Pascal Wehrlein is still in the lead. I'm trying to read off the screen. It's kind of little right now. But yeah, so I mean, Pascal Wehrlein, he won 2 races early on this season for Formula E, and he's just kind of been consistent since, and he's just holding on to that point lead basically. So he could end
Sao
up being
Paulo is such a good track.
different Sao Paulo, not what you're thinking of, not the one,
Dang.
not Interlagos. That's different.
Okay.
They actually raced in downtown Sao Paulo this week.
That's
Okay.
pretty badass.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but all right. Moving on to Formula 3. It is a race week in Australia for Formula 3. Your times are on the screen. You got practice 5:50 to 6:35 p.m. Thursday. Qualifying 11 to 11:30 p.m. Thursday. Sprint is 7:45 to 8:30 p.m. Friday, and your feature race is 7:05 to 7:55 p.m. on Saturday. So there is that. It's gonna be a late weekend for everyone, guys. Are you guys excited
Yes, sir.
to stay
Thrilled.
up late? You said thrilled.
I make no promises, but I'll try my best.
As we change here, we go into F2 for Australia. Practice is 7 to 7:45 Thursday. 7 to 7:45 Thursday. Qualifying is 2:30 to 3 a.m. on Thursday.
I'm not
race-
watching qualifying. I'm sorry, it's not happening.
Well, that's F2 though. That's F2 though.
Still, I'm not watching. Sometimes I'll tune into F2 quals. Like, I'm not watching it. It's not gonna happen.
And then you have the sprint race from 11 to 12:10 a.m. on Friday. Feature race is 9:35 to 10:40 p.m. on Saturday. That is your schedule for F2 and F3. Now, going into some F1 news this week, McLaren has announced a multi-year partnership with Workday. And now, with this partnership, McLaren becomes the most sponsored team with 47 sponsors.
It's hilarious.
And they're arguably one of the worst teams on the grid, I'm not going to lie. So, it's kind of crazy. But it is what
Zach
it is.
Brown, what is he cooking?
What is he cooking? Well,
Hey, when,
I
when you
mean,
pile
hey.
up the leaders, you get more screen time. So maybe it's just a based strategy.
yeah, there you go. I mean, there's a couple more things in here that you guys might be like, okay, Zach Brown, we are cooking a little bit, but probably not. So now next, Porsche will not join Formula One. Porsche will not join the F1 grid in 2026 after previous talks with McLaren and Red Bull both collapsed. A sister deal with Volkswagen Group brand Audi for use of its power units was also rumored but will not materialize. Porsche still remains at an interest in F1, but it will not have an entry or an affiliation with the team in the medium term. So, we will not be seeing Porsche in F1 in the near future, probably. Maybe after
Disappointing.
2026. So,
Disappointing.
yeah, it kind of sucks.
I
Oh, wait,
just want
no,
to
not
see
even
Sally
after
from
2026.
cars out there, man. I don't know.
But yeah, next news is about McLaren. McLaren have announced that the departure of technical director James Key as a part of a major restructure. It also includes the arrival of former Ferrari man David Sanchez, and I believe I made a report on that last week at some point. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I think I remember you doing that.
But yes, David Sanchez did end up with McLaren. So, and James Key is now getting the big old boot. Next, Audi is going to reveal more about their Formula One entry at the Shanghai Motor Show. A spokesperson said, "This is very important for us because China is for sure an important market for Formula One, but also our biggest market for the Audi worldwide. We want to present our project and also bring it closer to the fans because there was no Chinese Grand Prix for the last 3 years, and we thought it might be a good idea to present our show car with the Audi launch delivery there during the motor show. And the Shanghai Motor Show will take place April 18th to 27th. So, yeah, we'll learn a little bit more about Audi during that time. So I hope this doesn't fall through either, like Porsche. So
I really hope so.
yeah. So it'd be nice to have a new team. So. Next up, Brazil's triple Formula One champion Nelson Piquet must pay $953,050, 5 million Brazil reals, and moral damages for racist and homophobic comments against Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton. In his decision, Judge Pedro Matos de Arruda said the amount of compensation was given in the sense that one should not only appreciate and reparative function of civil liability, but also, and perhaps mainly, the punitive function so that as a society we can someday be free from the promiscuous acts that are racism and homophobia. So, yeah, big fine for Nelson Piquet. I'm pretty sure he's not allowed on the F1 paddock anymore. I think that's been a thing for a while anyway. So I can't remember exactly what happened there. I don't think it was with this situation. I think he was already not allowed. I can't remember exactly what happened with that. But yeah, so Nelson Piquet ends up getting fined, and he's going to have to pay some reparations. Next up, AlphaTauri might possibly rebrand. Helmut Marko says that Red Bull is considering changing the name of the AlphaTauri team. He says, "It is something we are reconsidering. It is too logical to. The branding of AlphaTauri has been scaled back somewhat because only in a few countries where we race, AlphaTauri is actually sold. It's about 3 to 4 countries only. The task is simple. More money must be brought in and results improved." So AlphaTauri might not be AlphaTauri for too much longer, so he might not have to look at this ugly scheme livery for this much longer.
Do you think okay, this is something I wanted to talk about. So I mentioned it last week or a couple weeks ago that I said that I would like to see Toro Rosso return just because of the beautiful schemes that Toro Rosso developed.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't mean they have to go back to the name Toro Rosso, but since this is technically a Red Bull team, do we see like this maybe being like another like Red Bull branded team?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's a
the
Red Bull.
the Bull is still on the car.
It's a Red Bull sister team. Like Red Bull owns the team basically.
It's Wood Brothers Racing.
Yeah, pretty much. But I just see them. They're probably going to try to get some like big sponsor somewhere or something, and then that's what the team name's going to be. I mean, it's possible to be Toro Rosso. I don't know, but yeah. Daniel, what's your take?
Yeah, I think I understand if they want to rebrand it because, like, frankly, like they haven't done much with the branding. You don't see people with the branding of AlphaTauri merch. Like, I don't know. And plus, the livery is just not that good this year.
Not gonna lie, I almost bought a AlphaTauri shirt.
I wanted to last year, but not this year. I don't know.
He said not this year.
That's
funny.
Nah.
Listen, Pierre and Yuki was such a good combo. Now it doesn't exist. I just can't.
He said I just can't.
Just can't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I miss Pukey.
You miss Pukey.
Yeah. But next up, the FIA has repealed the TD39 rule. The rule controlling chassis oscillations due to an anti-porpoising compliance introduced halfway through last season. The technical relation was issued to the teams privately, removing the AOM metric with the introduction of the new 2023 aerodynamic rules. The reasons behind the decision are not necessarily clear, but it is speculated that the new rules may be sufficient to control bouncing in a straight line, making TD39 redundant. So basically, like, they already had a rule kind of in place for this, and then they added this TD39 rule, and they just removed this. That's what I kind of take from this whole situation with this. So they just basically removed this rule because it was already what was talked about in another rule, basically. And it kind of just didn't apply to the season's regulations anyway, I don't think so. Now, there is another rumor for a new F1 team entry. The new entrant is a Swiss-based project headed by Craig Pollock, who founded the British American Racing F1 team. The main aim behind the project is a team being a EDI, Equality, Diversity, and Inclusion team with a 50-50 gender ratio among the staff and the drivers. So, kind of interesting because that means we're probably going to see a female F1 driver if this team does come through.
That'd be awesome.
What drivers do you guys think you could see in that seat?
I mean, there's a lot of drivers that are driving for Jenner right now that could one day I could see possibly making it over to F1. The thing is, I just don't know of enough besides Jamie Chadwick that drove for Jenner Racing, so it's difficult to say.
And she's coming the NXT route now, so she might try to stick with Indy.
However, she is technically, isn't she in the Alpine development program now? If I remember right.
No, I know Sophia Flores is.
That's right. Okay, I might be getting people confused, and I hate getting people confused.
No, Sophia Flores was announced earlier this season to be a part of the Alpine academy driver.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking.
I think she's F3. She's F3 currently. So
okay.
That's probably what you're thinking of. The next thing on our list, the Spanish GP could be moved from Barcelona to Madrid after 2026. Officials have outlined their ambitious plans to build a new track, which may eventually see the Spanish Grand Prix move from Barcelona from its home since 1991. Barcelona remains contracted to host the event until 2026, after which Madrid is likely to emerge as the leading contender to take over the Spanish Grand Prix. What are your guys' takes on this? Would we like to see Barcelona go, or do you guys like Barcelona as a track?
It's not my favorite, but I still feel like tracks that are on, I'm gonna miss no matter what. So I would like to see it stay.
Okay. Daniel?
Yeah, I think it's not a bad track. I think it's fine. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to see it go super quickly, but if it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna complain too hard.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to see how it races with the new configuration, because they're cutting out the final chicane in the final sector coming to the start finish. They're going to basically take the long loop around. So I'm excited to see how it races in the new. And if it doesn't work, then maybe I am on board for Madrid. And then final thing, McLaren has landed senior Aston Martin aerodynamicist Mariano Alperin as a part of an aggressive recruitment to drive boost to the performance of its Formula One team. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have for the formulas over here. Other than it's Formula One race week, I mean, everybody kind of knows those times. I'm just going to read the race time, which the GP is from 1 to 3 a.m. on Sunday morning. So, yeah, that's fun. Yeah, that's a lot of news though. I think that's the most news I've had in a while, actually. So yeah, what are we gonna do now, guys? We're gonna review the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix now.
I guess just talk about it. Yeah,
just talk about it. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So by the time that you're listening to this, you know that if you follow Burnout Sports, then you know that I write the NASCAR section on Burnout Sports. I do all of it. And I wrote an article this week going into COTA saying that I thought that this weekend was actually going to have some good racing. And I highlighted all the road course ringers that were going to be there this weekend in every single series. And I knew that it was going to go bad right when Ed Jones blew his engine on lap 1.
Dang.
Every single road course ringer, with the exclusion of AJ Allmendinger in the Xfinity Series race, disappointed this weekend. And big names: Raikkonen, Button, Taylor, nowhere near the front of the field for pretty much the entire race. Connor Daly had a broken transaxle, I believe. We saw it was just bad. Like Ed Jones, as I mentioned, blew an engine. Miguel Paludo wasn't ever truly in contention. Same thing with Sage Karam. Carson Hocevar, who came into the Xfinity race, we were all like, he's gonna have this great race out on lap one, right?
That was
Like,
crazy.
it wasn't like good racing, in my opinion, this weekend. That being said, Tyler Reddick or William Byron were the two drivers that needed to win this race, and I'm glad that one of them did because they dominated. I feel like there were some true winners and some true losers from this weekend. Now, obvious winner this weekend in the Cup Series level. Let's just talk Cup Series right now. But just a reminder, guys, Zane Smith won the truck race, and AJ Allmendinger in Colleague Racing won the Xfinity race. So that's big for Owner Sports for that 10 car, as they have struggled this weekend. Obvious winner is Tyler Reddick. Reddick he truly struggled the first 3 weeks of the season, and I know Daniel can talk about it because it was rough. But these past 3 weeks, he's been on a hot streak. And this is his third straight top 5. And a win this weekend. That's super awesome.
He's
now
locked in, baby.
The 5th driver to win this Cup Series season, and he did it in surviving the first triple overtime I believe we've had in years. This was Toyota's first win of the season, and that's pretty big for them. JGR still seems like they're struggling. But I really want to bring this up really quick because Eric Estep brought this up in a recent video. 3 of the 4 wins that Tyler Reddick has had in his Cup Series career have been on the road course. His first win was at Road America. His second win, we were there at the Indy GP. And now we have his 4th career win right here at COTA. Is Tyler Reddick a top 3 road course racer currently in the Cup Series?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Easy,
I'm glad
easy
we all
answer,
agree.
yes.
So I'm pretty sure we can all agree on number 1 being Chase Elliott. He is the best. Just because he wasn't there this weekend, still put some respect on Chase Elliott's name. He is road course god. Second, put some respect on AJ Allmendinger's name. He deserves to be number 2. And then number 3, there's a couple names that you could throw around. Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Daniel Suarez, William Byron. There's all these, Alex Bowman even. Martin Truex Jr. There's all these names you can throw, Kyle Busch. But Tyler Reddick is that guy. He's him. And he 10th in points, man, after that crappy season to start off. It amazes me.
They called me a madman. They said it couldn't be done.
Is that 45 a championship contender?
Ooh, I'm not saying that, but
No, ain't no way.
listen, 2311 is still a young team. They're not winning a championship this year.
Listen. So is Trackhouse.
Yeah, I know, but Trackhouse didn't have one of the worst pit crews last year.
That's true. They did have one of the
Like, Trackhouse doesn't have the inconsistencies that 2311 has. Trackhouse is very consistently, like, solid, and then they have their highs, but most of the time, like, they're just pretty, like, under the cover, like, good enough that you're like, hey, they're doing good.
Yeah.
But, like, they're not consistently top 3 every race. 2311 is either, like, breaking down halfway in the middle of the race, or they're, like, all of a sudden gunning, like, for the win out of seemingly nowhere.
Yeah, I
Like, they're very inconsistent, but it's showing that, like, there is so much potential with this team that I would argue they're maybe one of the most entertaining teams to watch as a NASCAR fan right now.
and that has to do with a lot of the fact that they have very recognizable cars. Monster Energy, people know what that is. The McDonald's car, the DoorDash car, people know what that is.
The Moneyline car is just sexy.
Okay, listen. Excuse me. That Moneyline car was the most beautiful car out there this weekend.
Dude, I don't care if it's the 45 or 23.
beautiful.
It's always beautiful.
It's
The
beautiful.
gradient, oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
Now,
Why do you
speaking
think I got
of
the Moneyline shirt, bro?
the driver
So
of the
sick.
Moneyline, Dan, he's just trying everything he can to plug that he's wearing a TR shirt
Hey.
right now.
Hey, it came in yesterday. It was perfect timing. Made my week so much better.
Next thing, Bubba Wallace, guys, he had a really, really bad day. Here's the thing: 2311 had a really good day with Tyler Reddick, but a really down day with the 23. Wallace post Atlanta found himself in a playoff position after a rough start to the season, after a P4 finish a few weeks prior. I was pleased to see that the 23 qualified P11. At the start of the race, it looked like he possibly had some top 10, maybe top 5 speed. But then an oil line broke, and that caused his brakes to go out, which caused him to completely Kyle Larson the corner at IMS. And that ended his day. A disappointed Wallace in his post-race interview said that he needs to be replaced. Now, personally, I don't think this is the case, and I'm sure that you guys can both agree that you don't think this is the case.
See, listen, I think a lot of people are taking what he said out of context. I think what he said was trolling the people who like harass him on Instagram and Twitter and stuff. I think he was saying that to troll them. I don't think he actually meant what he said, because when you look at what they say versus what he said in that interview, that is the exact thing that they say. So I think he was just saying that to like kind of troll in a way. I don't think he genuinely meant that.
However, we do have to point out that this is Wallace's third DNF in the first 6 races of the season. Now, you could blame the car, you could blame the driver. He still stands 19th in points. And right now, coming up in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to name some of the tracks, and I want you to tell me if you think that Bubba Wallace can have contention for a win at these tracks. Next week, we're heading to Richmond.
Yes, Kansas. Yes, Talladega.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to name some, okay? Richmond.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
He's all right on road.
I could see top 15 at Richmond.
Yeah.
Bristol Dirt.
Possibly.
Maybe.
He's pretty good.
I see a top 10 at Bristol Dirt. Martinsville, I could see him contending for a win at Martinsville.
It just depends on the team that weekend, though.
Yeah, I was going to say depends on circumstances.
After Martinsville, where are we headed?
Kansas.
Talladega.
Oh, Talladega.
Yeah,
When's Kansas? I like Kansas before Talladega.
One sec. Talladega. Then we head to Dover. Pretty solid at Dover. He's not great. And then we're heading to Kansas, which is
Been there, done that.
Which is the Bubba Wallace stomping ground. Then we go Darlington, and then it's North Wilkesboro, then it's Charlotte, right? Yeah. If I'm a Bubba Wallace fan, I'm looking at Talladega, I'm looking at Martinsville, and I'm looking at Kansas as big weekends for that driver.
And that team.
Yeah, and that team, for sure. All right, next winner this weekend, guys, Kyle Busch. Oh, my goodness. This guy is on fire. Second in points. Continues to prove that his move to RCR was perfect. It was the right one. Busch finished runner-up this weekend at COTA and added another top 5 and top 10 to his hot 2023 start. Currently second in points, only behind Ross Chastain. Now we're heading to Richmond next week, where he has plenty of success. Do you expect Kyle Busch to take the points lead next weekend?
It could be possible. I mean, I don't see him not being a contender, because, I mean, he's pretty much been a contender in every race. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I see that it's possible. I mean, especially if he finishes good and the people around him and the points leader, et cetera, don't finish as well as him, I definitely could see it. I really could see it.
Remind me again who's in first?
Currently Ross Chastain is first, but if the Hendrick penalty gets rescinded or shortened, that could mean that Alex Bowman would immediately be vaulted into the points lead.
I mean,
but right now,
could really
Busch,
see any of the three of them.
Busch sits 19 points behind Chastain.
Yeah, I could definitely. If it's Chastain late, I definitely could see Busch being in the lead by the end of the season.
Yeah, it really just depends. Like, I think he could, but I'm not gonna like bet my entire life savings that he will, because like Chastain is a very solid contending driver pretty much every week. It's just the matter of if he makes some boneheaded moves, upsets a few people.
Right.
Like that's really his biggest downfall. Outside of that, like he could get a top 10 every race if he really tried.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And a couple other losers this weekend. AJ Allmendinger, he ran up front the entire Xfinity race, is really good at this track. He had speed, but couldn't seem to keep out of trouble. Late restart ended his race. He ended up finishing P34. He's currently 20th in points. With many more road courses on the schedule, AJ Allmendinger fans, I feel you. Dinger still has a chance to make the playoffs, but post COTA, it's not looking as great as I thought it was going to. 3 other winners this weekend before we talk about, in my opinion, this weekend's biggest loser. Couple of winners. Corey LaJoie, man. P11 this weekend. Todd Gilliland P10. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. P7. I just want to. The small teams are doing great.
It's still crazy that Corey LaJoie finished 11th because he got spun on one of the restarts.
He was 2 laps down.
Yeah.
He's not even good on road courses either.
No, he's not. And the thing is, I said it last weekend, man. LaJoie's gonna make the playoffs, and it's gonna be surprising, but he might win at Talladega. He might win just a random race, maybe at I don't know, Darlington. I could see it. He runs well at Darlington, but Corey LaJoie currently still in the playoffs. Great 11th place finish for him. Able to recover well after those that incident. Todd Gilliland ran top 10 pretty much all day and just came out of nowhere to get a top 10. His teammate Michael McDowell, who spun, in my opinion, had the second best car in the field besides Tyler Reddick because he drove all the way from 28th with 5 laps to go to 12th.
Yeah,
sure, a couple restarts in that could help with that, but finished 12th. And finally, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., man. As much as everyone likes to dog on Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he's 12th in points and has stayed 12th in points. And that's not just because of his win. He's 12th in points above people who have, good runs this year, like the 99 of Daniel Suarez, the 18 of not the 18, the 54 of Ty Gibbs. I apologize. Eric Jones, ahead of 3 of the 4 Storehouse Racing cars. Good for him, Tricky Ricky. Now, in my opinion, guys, the biggest loser this weekend is the team that has the points leader, Trackhouse Racing. This weekend, last season, this weekend, I apologize. Trackhouse was on top of the world with Ross Chastain winning the first race in the team's young history. Many pointed that this led to a runner-up season from the one team. It was this race. Sparked a great win for Chastain's and for Suarez later in the season. A lot changed this year. Chastain and Suarez ended this race with seemingly a lot of words. The teammates did make contact on track, racing for second, around 11 laps to go. But then Chastain ended the day of Suarez by moving the 48 into the 99 on, I believe, the second overtime restart. While Chastain went on to finish top 5, Suarez, after running top 10 all day, had a solid points finish for him ruined, which caused his stock to plummet in the points. Not to mention that Trackhouse had a third car this weekend. F1's Kimi Räikkönen hopped into the 91 to make his second Cup start. While there were promises of a solid top 10 finish near the end, Kimi spun and then was involved in a crash at the last overtime restart and finished at the back of the lead lap. So they got a top 5, but 2 of their drivers pretty much DNF'd this race. What does Trackhouse have to do to get Ross Chastain at least under control? Because now he's taking his teammates out.
I mean, it's going to take fine. I mean, he got one. So, but I think
drop my pen.
I think a fine, honestly. I think it needs to be a fine because, I'm not opposed to aggressive racing because aggressive racing does sometimes make the best racing. But when you are over aggressive and you are repetitive with it, it is insane that you are making, you're doing this nonstop. And he wasn't he last year at Gateway or something? He's like, I got to stop running into these guys.
Yeah.
And da-da-da-da.
However, this weekend everyone was running into everybody.
Yeah.
And we won't really talk about the racing this weekend, how terrible it was, but it was terrible.
Yeah. It was god awful.
That's kind of what my point's going to be about.
Yeah, it's god awful. But Daniel, what's yours? Let's hear it.
Yeah, so my take on this is, I believe Chastain said something after the race where people were critiquing him being so aggressive on the restarts and taking people out, and he said, "Listen, if I don't, someone else is going to do it to me."
Yeah.
And honestly, we all saw the race this weekend. If he didn't do it, someone else was going to do it. He's not wrong. I don't necessarily condone that type of racing, but when you see everybody racing like that, it's really hard not to kind of agree with him, be yeah, I see it. Because if he wasn't gonna wreck someone, Chase Briscoe's gonna wreck someone. I mean, Chase Briscoe practically did help Chastain kind of mow through the field in that last restart. Like,
Yeah.
if he wasn't going to do it, someone else was. And I do agree fines should be in order, but at the same time, if everybody's doing it, you can't fine everybody. Like,
Yeah, and
I
see,
don't know.
like,
It's a really tricky situation.
but I agree with you on that. But my thing is, Elton Sawyer, he's works for the sanctioning body in NASCAR. He says that like none of them seen any wrong in the driving this weekend. And
What?
someone, and he says our DNA for 74 plus years has been aggressive driving. So my thing is, if this is what we're talking about, why did Denny get penalized for running Ross into the wall?
That's what I'm saying. I get you. As a Denny fan, I get what you're talking about, but also like,
I mean, I could answer that. It's because he admitted to purposefully doing it.
And
If you don't-
people do it all the time.
I'm not saying he was wrong for it. I think he was
I
NASCAR,
know,
NASCAR,
but-
NASCAR
But
needs to be a
NASCAR wants to
little
have
bit more,
loopholes
yeah.
where you said you were going to do it, so we have to hold you accountable. We all know everybody's thinking it when they do it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's honestly just the fact that he openly was like, yeah, I wrecked him. He deserved it. And then NASCAR's like,
All right.
let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
All right, as much as this race was kind of entertaining, let's talk about the top 10. Tyler Reddick brings it home with the win. Second, Kyle Busch. Third, Alex Bowman. Fourth, Ross Chastain. William Byron. Fifth, sixth with Austin Cindric. Great top 10 day for that Penske team. Seventh, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Great top 10 for JTD Doherty. Eighth, Chris Buescher continues a good run. Second, back-to-back top 10 for Ty Gibbs, finishing ninth. And Todd Gilliland gets his first top 10 of the season, finishing 10th.
On squad, baby.
Some other honorable mentions, Corey LaJoie, P11, Michael McDowell, P12, Kevin Harvick, P13, Kyle Larson, P14, Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, 15, 16, 17, Martin Truex. I guess I'll just read all the way. 18th was Jensen Button, the first road course ringer, and the highest placing one there. He had a lot of things to say. Watch his interview with Bob Pockris. 19th was Justin Haley. 20th, Noah Gregson. 21st, Ryan Blaney. 22nd, Harrison Burton. 23rd, Eric Jones. 24th, Jordan Taylor. 25th, Cody Ware. 26th, Josh Bilicki in his first Cup Series start of the season. 27th, Suarez. 28th, Logano. 29th, Raikkonen. 30th, Eric Almirola. 31st, Christopher Bell. 32nd, Ryan Preece. 33rd, Austin Dillon. He needs to figure it out. 34th, AJ Allmendinger. 35th, Brad Keselowski. I believe 12 cautions were caused by that driver. 34th, Connor Daly. 37th was Bubba Wallace. 38th, Jimmy Johnson. We didn't even talk about Jimmy. And
I mean, he barely
39th,
raced.
Yeah, he didn't even make a lap.
Jimmy and Ty Dillon both taken out halfway through lap 1. All right, guys. Points lead right now. As if the playoffs started today, these are your top 16. Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Tyler Reddick, Kevin Harvick, Christopher Bell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, William Byron, Brad Keselowski, Martin Truex Jr., Dale Suarez, Chris Buescher, Corey LaJoie, and Denny Hamlin, with the first two drivers out being Alex Bowman and Michael McDowell. Obviously, that'll change with Hendrick coming back the way they do. Justin Haley is still negative 7 points. And that's pretty much all I got to do with talking about NASCAR. So if it's okay with you, Jad, really like to start talking about some predictions.
All right. Yeah, we can do that. Let's go. We're getting some crackles.
Yeah, it's okay.
But yeah, so last week, let's talk about the predictions from last week. Nobody got a point. Nobody. Why are you doing this? Why? Like, it was perfectly fine the whole episode. No,
It was.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's not. All right. So nobody got a point last week. Tristan still has 4. I have 2. Daniel has 2. For our point totals. Yeah, I mean, we missed our group pick as well, which was Jensen
my
Button.
Truck Series pick didn't even make the race, so I don't like. That's the second time that has happened in Indy Boys history.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We
Who
don't
had
need
the
to remember
first?
the first.
Daniel J.
We don't need to remember the
Birdie.
first.
That's just crazy. But yeah, I mean, if you want to, we have a lot of predictions to make, so I think we should try to get into these.
I would like to start with our group pick,
Oh,
and I just want you to put it down. Just put it down.
Josh Williams.
Just put it down. You weren't expecting the Josh Williams hero card, were you?
I was not at all.
You weren't
I'm not
expecting the
gonna-
Josh Williams hero card.
I was not.
You don't have to do it if you don't want to. I just thought it was funny. It's gonna be his first race back. He's gonna be a man on a mission.
I mean, I was thinking a group pick that we can get on later, but we can figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back to it. I just wanted Josh Williams' beautiful face to be in the episode. Gosh, I have so many weird hero cards. Look at this one. Like, what is this?
Loris has him in.
Like, look at the font. I don't know. Anyway.
But let's be real, Tristan. We know what the greatest hero card of all time is.
Is it sad Eric Almirola?
Give him the beans.
Give him the beans.
Brad Perez.
Give him
I don't
the
even-
beans.
The thing is, I got those for you guys, and I still don't have mine. Like, I left it there.
Oh,
We're
really?
giving him the beans, bro.
Yeah. He had a good weekend, too. He finished top 20. All right. Truck Series is going to be at Texas this week. So not going to be at Richmond. Truck Series is at Texas. It's weird, and I think it's cool that they're doing a partnership with IndyCar, but still weird. My pick this weekend. This guy runs pretty well at Texas. I don't know if I want to pick him, though, just because, I'm going to go with Christian Eckes. I changed my mind. I'm going with Christian Eckes.
Daniel.
I'm thinking.
I really wanted to go Ty Majeski, but I just don't feel confident.
Let's see. I'm looking at this list.
Do you guys know Tyler Ankrum is 7th in points right now?
Bruh,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Happy for that boy.
I'm going to go with... Wait, where's he at? I'm going to go with Grant Enfinger.
I almost went Enfinger, I almost went Majeski, but I understand. I understand that pick. Good one. I like it.
I had to think a little hard for that one, but we got there eventually.
We did get there. Jay, who are you going at Texas?
Shoot, guys. You're putting me on the spot here. No, I'm just kidding. I think I'm going to go with Ben Rhodes.
Okay. So none of us are going Saint Smith this week.
I was thinking about it, but I was like, what's the doubt? What's the chances he actually goes back to back?
Yeah, for real.
Probably pretty good.
What are the chances that the best driver in the series wins another race?
Yeah.
Speaking of one of the best drivers in the series, we're heading to Texas we're heading to Richmond this weekend, but I'm not gonna pick Austin Hill. So I'll leave that one for Daniel.
I wasn't gonna.
I'm going Justin Allgaier.
Allgaier.
That's my pick at Richmond. Justin Allgaier.
Daniel.
I was gonna go with
Gross.
some Brandon Jones.
Ooh, he's having a bad year. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
to you. In
but-
that JRM equipment.
Hey, things turn around.
Christopher. I forgot about Christopher. Man. Forgot about Christopher.
I'm going with good old Nemechuk. John Hunter Nemechuk.
Nema truck.
Oh, yeah.
Nema Xfinity. Nema car.
Nemechuk.
All right, Cup Series. Nema Bush. All right, Cup Series. At Richmond, 2 picks. My first pick is Kyle Busch.
KB8. Yes, sir.
He can drive this track. My second pick is clearly going to be Ty Dillon. No, it is he's pretty solid here. I'm gonna go Martin Truex Jr. as my second pick.
Stage winner.
Couple of veterans there.
This is a veterans track, in my opinion.
This is
Daniel.
Y'all can take your veterans. I'm going Christopher Bell.
Arguably, some would say Bell is a veteran now. This is his 4th year.
Yeah, I know.
He's been to the championship for. We can call him a veteran.
He's a young veteran.
He's 28.
Yeah, but that's still young for a NASCAR
He's
driver.
28 and still looks like he's 13. What's going on?
Dude, he looks like I could have given birth to him.
he looks like he would fit in at like a high school.
I mean, hey, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
How do you
not.
do, fellow kids?
Hello, my fellow kids.
But then my wild card pick, I'm gonna go Ryan Blaney.
Ryan Blaney. He is good at Richmond.
No. This dude is not good at Richmond. If
Am
you
I
look
thinking-
at his
no,
results, he
no,
is
my
not good
bad.
at Richmond.
My bad. I was thinking Alex Bowman. I'm like, ooh, yeah, Alex Bowman's good at Richmond. No, Ryan Blaney's not good here.
Ryan Blaney is not good at Richmond.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sticking with it. It's my wild
okay.
card pick, so I am fine with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I picked my confident pick in my first pick.
Yeah, my wild card pick is stage winner MTJ, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Jay.
Well, Daniel, I hate to copy you, but I was going to go Christopher Bell for my first pick.
It's a good pick.
Speaking my language.
My second
You're
pick.
speaking my language.
My second pick, I think I'm going to go with. You know what? I didn't have him making my championship before.
I have a feeling.
My playoffs.
I have a feeling I know where you're going.
But yeah.
Yep, I had a feeling.
Who's it?
Go ahead. Just say it. I know who it is.
Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, thank you. I knew exactly who it was. He's good here.
Yeah. He won here last year, so
He did.
I feel confident in that pick, so I'm not upset with that. But yeah, that's all for NASCAR. Let's do some IndyCar.
Indy.
Alrighty. So this weekend, it is time for the PPG 375.
I missed IndyCar, man.
Me too.
Dude,
it's been too long.
You're speaking my language, man. Like,
I missed it.
it's so good, and they provide actually good racing at Texas. So I'm so excited.
I'm more excited for this than I am for trucks.
Should I go with my picks first, or do y'all want to get yours out?
You can give your picks first. I already have mine. So
Okay,
no
because
matter who
I'm
you pick,
taking the easy pick. At least what I would consider an easy pick.
Go ahead, just pick him.
I'm going Scott McLaughlin.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Let's be
Take
real.
each
He's
pick
he's
out.
raced here 3 times. Each time's been a top 10. 2 of them have been second. Like,
You're good. Take the pick.
he's due for a win.
Dude, for a pick.
And then my underdog, I'm gonna go Kyle Kirkwood.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So,
a good pick.
That's actually pretty good. Daniel picks the 3 and the 27 this weekend. Pretty nice. I'm going the 5, Patricio. I am going
Understandable
all in on the Duck. Pato Award.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going all in. My underdog pick is David Malukas.
Ooh.
That was gonna be my offer for a group pick, but if you're making him your wild card, I respect that.
I'm picking David. I think David he has this. We talked to him. He said
He knows
had
the
this
ovals.
circled.
He
He said
knows
he
the
had this
ovals.
circled, and coming off a top 10 in his last race, and I think he's just itching to know that Lundgaard is a point ahead of him. He's got to prove a point to Lundgaard.
It's an oval. He's better on ovals. Like, it's just a fact.
Also, did you guys see that like Stinger was at COTA and like was just hanging out with
Yeah.
Cody Ware? Love
Really?
that.
That
Love
is kinda
that.
funny.
Dynamic duo.
So here comes Jay picking Newgarden, am I right? Yeah.
I'm thinking Joseph Newgarden and Scott Dixon.
Yeah, that's what I was guessing. That's what I was guessing.
Yo, I'm going for.
Buddy.
I'm trying to go for guaranteed points, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
We don't
That's
have
why I went
any-
for technically I went for a guaranteed point too with Patricio.
Hey, my wild card pick that I almost went with, I'll offer him as a group pick.
Who? Kirkwood?
No. The one I almost went with for my wild
David.
card.
Oh
No.
no, who?
I will offer group pick for IndyCar. Felix Rosenquist.
Ooh, he is
Actually.
good at Texas.
Full sitter here last year.
He is good at Texas. I'm sorry, Josh Williams, but you might have to go.
Is he going? Is he going?
Yeah, go ahead. Put Felix there. He
You
was a
get
certified
5
group pick
points.
legend
I
last
get
year.
Felix Rosenquist to win.
There we go. Oh yeah. And now
Did you see the IndyCar app put Ryan Hunter Ray's like DHL suit on his picture, but like there's no like logos on it?
yeah, they probably just photoshopped it out.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, they didn't want to wait.
It's kind of funny. All right. One.
F1.
getting tired, man.
We are at the Australian Grand Prix this weekend. You're gonna be even more tired this weekend because you're gonna be up at 1 a.m. watching the race. So
I know.
Listen, I tried last year. I make no promises, but I'll try.
I
I'll
did
try
it
it.
last
again.
I did it last year.
I made halfway through the race and I just like crashed.
the only one that I didn't do last year was Japan.
I also did not do Japan last
I
year.
couldn't do it.
I didn't do like half of the F1 races last year.
I
couldn't
did
do it.
most of them.
I watched more than I usually would.
Oh no, I watched every one of them last year. Even Silverstone, and we were sitting in the middle of nowhere in Ohio.
Yeah, we
for
watched that in a
Silverstone.
gas
We
station.
were in a gas station.
Yeah, I yelled, "Oh my God! Someone flipped in the middle of a
And
gas station."
I was
We
like
both
trying to
ran.
get
Me and Tristan
I was-
ran across the aisles.
trying
Yeah.
to get my brisk pink lemonade. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Annoying.
he's annoying. All right, we're gonna go with our podium for F1. We're at Australia. What is your guys' pick? Should I go first, or do you got who wants to
You go first,
I go
Jay. You can go first.
first? I'm gonna go with Max Verstappen.
Okay.
Second, I'm gonna go with Sergio Perez. No. Let's go crazy this week. I'm gonna go crazy this week. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go crazy.
Go
this week.
stupid, man.
We're gonna go crazy this week. All right, first,
Is Jay going crazy this week?
Fernando Alonso.
Okay.
Ooh.
Second is going to be Max Verstappen.
Okay.
Third is going to be Sergio Perez. That's what we're going crazy for.
Go crazy.
I don't
go
know.
stupid.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I have the feeling Fernando might win. I don't know why.
Last season in this one, Max had a retirement.
Yeah, and that's drawing me back, and they've already had reliability, trust issues with the reliability so far this season. So, I can see it happening. So,
See, me personally,
what's
I'm
your
going
personal-
Max. And then I'm going Checo number 2.
Okay.
And then, do you know who's going number 3?
man.
For 3, I am going to go
He's probably gonna go George Russell.
George.
I already know it.
So
It's
he
not
just
even
picked-
that, like, it's not a wild pick. It's just a boring pick.
Okay, my podium is going to be a little bit different.
Uh-oh.
We had a retirement for a Red Bull here last year. And I think it's going to happen again. So I will not be including Max Verstappen in my podium.
Uh-oh.
Yes, my podium, my winner,
Logan Sargent.
clearly, is going to be Nicholas
Sergio.
Latifi. Yeah, I'm going Checo. I think Checo gets the win. I almost went Leclerc, but the Fernando Alonso experience is going to put him P2.
Oh,
And-
plan.
While Leclerc is really good at Australia, I do think he gets a podium in P3. So first Ferrari podium for Leclerc this weekend.
Okay. Interesting. We all have some crazy podiums, I think.
Yes, we do, because I don't have Max in there.
Yeah.
Mine's
don't
so
know.
basic, but it's still weird because I have Russell P3 and like you just never know.
This could just be me.
I think that's a little bit of favoritism for
hoping
Daniel there.
this. Yeah.
No, I mean he got 4 last week
Yeah.
or last race. Like
This could just be me like hoping for a good race or like a crazy race. I don't know why I am, but
But also,
I think
it's Australia.
Yeah, I think it's just me hoping for a crazy race. That's why I put Fernando Alonso first. So,
understandable.
I understand. It's cool.
But,
All right, let's
yeah.
pick SRX. I'm joking.
I was gonna say what?
All right. Well, that's it for the episode. Let's go ahead and go back to the main screen.
Alrighty.
Thanks so much, guys, for listening to Indy Boys. You guys can go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that button right down below if you're watching on YouTube, or rate us 5 stars on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Google Podcasts, however you listen to us. I just know we're not on iHeartRadio, so sorry, iHeartRadio. Follow us on our Instagram, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter pages at Indie Boys Podcast. And follow us on all of our personal social medias right below our faces right here. You know, we love you. We love you so much over here at Indie Boys Productions. And Indie Boys Productions, that kind of sounds cool.
does kind of sound cool.
That sounds pretty baller. If you guys ever run into us at the track, don't forget to say what's up. Enjoy IndyCar, enjoy F1, enjoy NASCAR this weekend. And signing off for Daniel Taney and Justin Cox. My name is Tristan Greider, and I think that Logan Sargent's going to get points this weekend. Have a good one. Peace!
Peace.